We're about to wrap up my conversation with Tamara Parisio, who is a creative director and strategic wordsmith, helping others craft their own scripts for business. She tells more of her own story in the new book titled From Resilience to Brilliance. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, and this is a part of my continuing series of interviews with women who have inspiring stories to tell and who are role models for the rest of us when it comes to learning to thrive. It's why I call this show Tips for the Transition. Hello, Tamara.
Hello, Maria. It's so nice to be back.
Thanks so much for sharing your story of managing life transitions by journaling and scripting. I would love to hear more about the lessons you've learned that have helped you through your toughest experiences in life. I'm sure a lot of women can learn from you.
Well, through the course of my journey, I've learned many things, but 3 lessons in this process stand out. And the first takeaway is getting into character. When you journal and when you are reflecting, you start finding an awareness about yourself and who you want to be. And then you can find role models who help pull you into that. That's the character experience I have. There's a process called the Rykov effect, where you mimic mannerisms and mindsets of another, and then you can take that on and adapt it in your own life. I mean, I would love to mimic the curiosity of Einstein and the fashion sense of Anna Wintour. And so I bring those in my script because that's what I admire and that's what I align with. And so, of course, I would like to grow in those areas. It's very authentically me. It's my combination, and it's what inspires me. So I can be on message, on track, on brand, with my life. And that's how I step into the leading role in my success. I show up with that aspect of me in the moment that's going to be most powerful for whatever is at hand. The second takeaway is to gather the cast and crew. You are always better off when you are surrounded by the people who are going to care about you and support you. I have some people who are they're close to me in my lineage, but they may not be the most supportive. So I set them as bit players in my script. They're still in my life. I just choose how and when I'm going to interact with them. But in the big moments, I get my co-star to come to the party and bolster my performance in whatever situation I am in. I love old movies, so the scripting and the stepping into the scene and showing up in character and dressing the part is a big influence in my life. That is part of the cast and crew that influenced me to what I want it to be. But supporters are really important, and that whole thing about the 5 people you spend your time with is critical. Even if if some of the 5 people are your role models that you're aspiring to, that influence you that way. And then finally, I think I said it before, every award-winning performance has an award-winning script with an award-winning role. So if I'm going to the grocery store and I write a list, I have a better performance at accomplishing my task of getting groceries and not forgetting something than if I didn't write that list. So from something so small to planning out how I'm going to show up and orchestrate myself through a very emotional, personal thing like a divorce, or how I'm going to plan and expand a business that I'm starting up at my age now. All of those things, when scripted and given a powerful plan, are going to be more successful than if I just stepped up and tried to stumble in it. So I had scripted some things for myself for my future because I knew what I wanted to plan for in my 20s, in my 30s, like career, family, children. All of a sudden, I'm 57. And where am I going to go from here? I didn't have a plan for what my 50s would look like, being divorced and starting over kind of in my life. So I spent some time scripting the role. what would she be doing? What would she show up as? What, and she being me in a year, when I did this. And I walk my dog many mornings, and sometimes I would do that in kind of like half pajamas or half sweatpants. And I said to myself, no, that's not how I show up. I am walking in high heels and Prada. So I like to say on those days when I am rushing to walk the dog after I've gotten dressed for an appointment, I'm showing up, I'm walking the dog in high heels and a dress. And the other day, a friend of mine had dropped me off from a meeting, and I had to walk the dog real quick. And as I went out the door, the dog was tugging me, and I had this, editorial style stance. And she said, oh my gosh, I wish I had a video of this right now in my high heels being dragged along by my 20-pound dog. So when you script it and you realize the magic of things happening, you realize the power of putting together a plan and the power of using words that support you. Everything from self-talk to how you want to say your message in the most clear, crisp way. And that's another story for another day or another book even. But those are the three core things. Step into your character, get the cast and crew around you to show up and support you, and write the script that's going to be your award-winning bolstering process.
Tamara, those are brilliant. And they are essential. It aligns so perfectly with what I believe and what I teach as well. You call it a script, I call it a vision. It doesn't matter what we call it, but if we have really thought about who we are, how we want to show up, and who we surround ourselves with, and what we want to have happen, we really can't go too far astray if we stick with the plan, if we stick to the script.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Returning to the script all the time helps. And if for some reason the scene isn't feeling correct, you can rewrite it.
Exactly. I love that. It's always an evolving dynamic. Our lives are evolving and dynamic. Things change for us, and we change. Please, dear God, we change.
Absolutely. I also want to make sure it's clear that after the script is finished for this leg of the journey, there's always the sequel. So it's not only that the script can be edited and changed, there's room for impromptu, and there's a sequel.
Yeah. And as we grow things and become a step into the character that we are to become, then it has to change. So keep on scripting, keep on visioning.
Thank you, Maria. Appreciate all that you do.
Thank you, Tamara. It has been an honor to chat with you. It is a delightful new perspective. I've used this word before because I truly am intrigued with the way you've done this. So thank you for that. Before we leave, I would like to make sure that our viewers who want to reach out to you have the best way to do that. Would you please share that with us? And by the magic of video, we'll put it on the bottom of the screen as well.
Absolutely. You can find me at tamaraparisio.com. And my email is simply tamara@tamaraparisio.com. I'll look forward to connecting.
Easy enough. Thank you so much, Tamara. Really appreciate that. And please, all of you, remember to get your copy of From Resilience to Brilliance, because these women's stories are just amazingly compelling, heart-wrenching, and intriguing, like this one. I would like to leave you with just one last thought. It is my deep desire that these conversations that I have with these women like Tamara inspire you to know that you are not alone. Someone out there has felt what you felt and found a way to move through it. And we're here to help. I believe it's our time to thrive, and I would love it if you would join me on that journey. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan. Till next time.